Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's episode of the podcast. I wanted to share something with you today and talk a little bit about how we listen to our intuition, really, how we start learning to tune into our gut instinct. So have you ever had a gut feeling about something and then wished you'd listened to it? I think we all have, but I want to share a story with you. And this is a personal story. It's something that happened to me, and I know what you're all saying. You know, Anne-Marie, you're psychic. Why didn't you listen to your gut instinct? Because like you and everybody else, sometimes we just don't trust it. Anyway, I was doing an event, a mediumship platform event, and it was really late at night when I was getting home. It must have been about 11:30 in the evening. And where I live, you could either have gone on the freeway to get to my home, or you could have cut down this country lane, if you like. And the country lane for me was really quicker, but it was dark, it was full of woods, and it was about 11:30 in the evening. Anyway, you know, my gut instinct was telling me, no, go the long way round, go on the freeway, you know, this is the right thing to do. And I was like, no, I'm going to go the quick way. I'm going to go the dark way. I'm going to go down the woods. Yeah, it sounds mad. It was. So what do? I'm sitting at the lights, and do I take a left and go to the freeway? Do I take a right and go down this dark road with all the woods and the trees and no lighting? Yeah, of course I did. I turned right, totally against my intuition. And I'm driving down this road, and there was not a soul on this road. And I'm driving and I'm thinking straight away, as soon as I did it, I thought to myself, why did I come this way? Anyway, as I'm driving there, out of nowhere, this big ute, it was like, I don't know whether it was a ute, to be quite honest. It looked like a big 4-wheel drive car. It was huge. Now, I only had a little Getz at the time, so I'm driving this little Hyundai Getz along the road, pitch black, trees everywhere, not a soul on the road, and out of nowhere comes this huge ute. Well, he's rushing up behind me, he's flashing his lights, and he's near pushing me off the road. And I was doing the speed limit. It wasn't I was doing any less than the speed limit. So please don't judge, okay? This isn't about judgment about speed limit or anything. This is about me saying to you, I should have listened to my intuition. So as I'm driving down this road and this car, and I could see the big headlights, and he's flashing his headlights, or she, I don't know whether it was he or she, flashing his headlights at me, coming close up to the back of my car. And I'm thinking to myself, oh gosh, he's going to ram me off the road any minute now. So I'm doing the speed, and then I found myself actually quickening up really to try and get away from this guy or this lady, whoever it was that was in this car, and they were coming quicker and I was going quicker, and I thought, I'm going to get killed here. So instead of indicating as I was going to turn, I turned off this road quite quickly, and because they were so close behind me, they actually shot past me. So what I did is I turned off, and then I turned off again, and I managed to get away from them. It was absolutely terrifying. When I got home, I was shaking. My husband was, what has happened to you? I couldn't begin to imagine that this kind of thing actually happened anywhere apart from in the movies. And here I am, shook up in my own home, thanking every angel and guide for saving me to get me home. And then I thought to myself, you didn't listen to your intuition. You didn't listen to your gut instinct. I was so annoyed at myself. And instead of saying or listening to my gut instinct or having a word with myself really and saying, do you know what? I should have listened. Why didn't I listen? It was so powerful. Why we call it gut instinct is because we feel it in our stomach. We feel that knowing, that understanding that, yes, this is the right thing, or no, this is not the right thing. But we choose to override that because of our limiting trust in ourselves, really, or our limiting belief that we actually have this huge ability to know what is right and what is wrong. So if I would have gone on the freeway, would I have been okay? Probably. I was okay anyway, but I could have saved myself so much trauma and so much stress. And I didn't listen. I felt like my whole body was saying, go on the freeway. And I chose to override that. And I chose to ignore it. And I paid the price, nearly bigger than what I did pay. So how do we learn to listen to our intuition? And what is it and why? Why do we override it? So I've spoke to you before about the conscious babble of the mind. I've even mentioned this in the Grateful 3 Approach to Life book. You know, I spoke about how when, say, like we were going to change our job and you think, okay, I'm going to go for a new job. And then the conscious mind is like, yeah, I'm going to go for a new job. Yeah, I should go for the job. And then straight away, the conscious mind kicks in with trying to keep you safe. So it'll kick in with something along the lines of, no, you don't need a new job. What's wrong with this one? You know all the people here. It works for you. It works around the kids. It works around your family. And before you know it, you've just scrapped your resume and you're not applying for the new job. How many times, come on, hold your hand up. How many times have we done this? How many times have you talked yourself out of stuff when the first thing you have heard is, yes, I should go for that. Yes, I should stay in this relationship. Yes, I should leave this relationship. No, I should not go for the new job. Or yes, I should stay in the role that I'm already in. How many times? And it's as simple as that. There's a yes or there's a no. And what happens is the babble of the mind kicks in because it tries to keep you safe. Now, I want you to think of something. If you're going to change your job, straight away, you know it's got difficulty attached to it. You've got, maybe it's going to be in a different place. You've got, maybe it could be a little bit hard transitioning. Maybe it could be more money, less money, whatever it is, a different, meeting all new people, a different role. So there's a new learning model in there. And as soon as we have something like that, the conscious mind kicks in with, I'll keep you safe. Just stay in the place where you are. And that's how the conscious babble of the mind overrides the intuition. So what I would love you to do, because you can actually build this. If you build this, you will be more aware. You'll still override it when you want to, like I did. Every ounce of my body was saying, do not go down the dark and dingy road with all the big woods and the trees and there's not a light in there. Come on, you know, when I look at it now, I was like, doesn't take me intuition. It's like, do not go there, you know? But I did. I overrode the intuition and the instincts of saying, go in the other direction, you'll be safer. And I didn't. I totally ignored it. So how many times has that happened to you? So think about how you feel. So what we're going to do is I want you to grab a pen and paper, or I'd really love you to dedicate a journal for this. So it's a blank page journal or a blank page folder or booklet. And I want you to write 3 questions on this page that you want answered, but only with a yes or a no, not a long, convoluted answer, just a yes, simple yes or no. So when you get your journal in front of you, before you ask the questions, I want you to just sit quietly. Now, this can be done any time in the day, and I'd love you to do it every day if possible, if you can find the quiet time. And I want you to just take a few deep breaths, just 3 deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and in through the nose and out through the mouth, and again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then when you open your eyes, I want you to write down 3 questions. Just simple 3 questions on this piece of paper that you can write next to it a yes or a no answer. Now, don't write the yes or the no answer just yet. So write the 3 simple questions down. And then what I want you to do is I want you to forget them. Scramble your mind. When I was practicing NLP, when we'd talk about scrambling the mind or, clearing the mind, one of the things we used to always say was chocolate biscuits. Don't ask me why, but that's what we used to always say. Anyway, so scramble the mind, chocolate biscuits. And then I want you to, in your mind's eye only, so don't read it out on the page. I want you to glance at it and then ask yourself in your mind the first question. Now, before you even ask this question in your mind, you will get a yes or a no answer. I don't want you to overthink it. I don't want you to let the conscious babble of the mind come in. There's no structure here. There's no right or wrong. I just want you to write down next to it what you heard first. Yes or no. Okay? So you've got 3 questions there. So I want you to just write the yes or no. That's it. No conscious mind getting involved. No conscious babble of the mind. That's it. And then what I want you to do is scramble the mind again. So chocolate biscuits. And I want you to take another deep breath in. And then out again. Look at the second question. Ask yourself the second question. And straight away, yes or no. Don't overthink it. Write it down next to it. That's it. Step away from it. And then the next thing is, again, scramble the mind, chocolate biscuits. And then we want you to take a nice big, or I would like you to take a nice big deep breath in and out again. And ask the third question in the mind's eye only. Don't read it off the page. Ask yourself that question. And what do you get? Yes or no? Don't overthink it. Don't let the conscious babble come in. Don't judge it. And then close the page. What you're going to do then is you're going to actually do this every single day with different questions. Use the same questions if you like, but it does work better if you use different questions. And then what you're going to do, after about a month of doing this, I'd like you to go back and look at the answers that you gave yourself. Yes, no. How did the situation turn out? And think about when you're answering these questions, even though you're writing yes or no, be aware of what you feel within your body. Do you feel it in your stomach? Do you feel it in your mind? And this simple, really simple exercise can help you become hugely in touch with your intuition to make the same mistake I did. No, I'm only kidding. We still will make mistakes. We are human. But it will help you maybe 7 times out of 10 make the right decision. So isn't that worth it? So definitely do this little exercise. Do it over again. Repeat this podcast over and over and over again. And do it for maybe 30 days. They say 21 days helps you set a new pathway within the brain. But, keep doing it if you want to keep doing it. But over 30 days or a month, if you're giving yourself a month to do this, then what you're doing every single day, you're becoming more and more aware of what you feel, where you feel, see, hear, smell. totally aware or a knowing even of your intuition and your senses. Okay? It'll help you in situations with jobs. It'll help you in situations in relationships, even picking, I don't know, supper. If you give me any 3 different choices to have for a takeaway meal, I am finished. Don't give me too many choices, okay? So keep it simple. And if you're like me and can only have one choice of takeaway meal, then do that, okay? So make this simple. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. They only have a yes or a no answer. And then when you've written them down, I want you to ask them questions in your mind. Scramble your mind with chocolate biscuits, don't forget, in between each question. And that way you will have a clear mind to hear, feel, taste, or smell, or sense, or know the yes or the no. And go with that. And that will strengthen your intuitive muscle. That is just a simple exercise that anybody can do. You can even do it with the kids. It'll help them strengthen their intuitive muscle. And isn't that such a really good thing to do with children these days? Strengthen their intuition so they don't get so much peer pressure and they can stand within their own energy, if you like, and make their own decisions in life. I hope you've enjoyed this episode today in trusting your inner voice and strengthening your intuition in your daily life. Have a great day, my friend, and I'll catch you soon. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage, and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at amarylord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.